and welcome to my yoga online classes. So in this class, I'm going to be running through my What Nourishes You article. So you'll find the sequence on www.yogaru.ie, and you go into the sequences section, you'll find that there. So the article was about knowing the things that nourish you off the mat, but also knowing the poses that nourish you on the mat. So what your favorite poses are, what poses make you happy, what poses make you feel strong, give you focus, give you energy, or whatever it is that you're looking for. So just getting a little bit curious about what different poses give you, because each of us are completely different. The poses affect us differently, and starting to maybe even write a list or draw little stick people of the poses that you love to practice. And no matter what practice you're doing, you can start to add them in so that your practice becomes really all about what you need. Okay, so 2 bricks are optional. You can use them if you have them. I will just be using them for Ardha Chandrasana during the standing flow. So we're going to start, so just actually to go over the sequences, the one from the website. This class will also give you an idea of how to use these sequences. You'll find there's over 100 of these sequences on my website now. And they kind of give you an idea about how the poses link and what the mini flows are. You can make these sequences as long or as short as you want, and the way you do that is by adding in half sun salutations. You'll see me run through one of them. It says half Surya, S-U or Y, so that's a half sun salutation. You add more of them in. If you want it to be a longer sequence, you add vinyasas in, if you know what they are, to make it a longer sequence. You add sun salutations in. Or if you want it to be shorter, you just flow through them, the mini flows, with your breath. So I'm going to aim to make this practice around about half an hour or a little bit shorter, to show you kind of how to make the slightly shorter version of this. Again, you can make it shorter again by just doing one of the standing flows, really tailoring to your time available. So get started on all fours. Optional to put the bricks under the hands here, so I will be going through a couple of options as well, even though they might not be, strictly speaking, in the actual illustrated sequence that you will have downloaded from the website. So at the moment I'm adding bricks underneath my cat-cows because I find it just gives me a little bit of lift and reminds me to stay open through the chest here, and I find that I can get a little bit more of a curve to my spine with the hands raised up a little bit. So inhaling, let the belly drop down towards the ground, the gaze comes forward, shoulders draw back towards the hip there. Exhale, lifting the spine up towards the ceiling, pressing into your hands. It's like you're just draped over the mat there. Inhaling, let the belly be soft here, let it expand. Draw those shoulders back towards your hips there. And then exhaling, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. We'll go through one more round of them again. You're practicing this in your own space. So you go through these cat-cows with your own breath. You don't have to go with my guide to the breath. So inhale. And then exhale one last time. And then we're going to pop the bricks aside there. Just back to all doing the same thing. Putting the knees together here just for balance. Reach your right leg back, lift it up, squeeze into the back of that hip there, reach your left arm forward. Then you're going to inhale here, you're going to exhale, knee or elbow to knee there. Inhale to reach, exhale, drawing it in. So it's like your cat-cows, we're just adding a little bit of stability. That then makes all the muscles work when we're just balancing on the hand, one hand and one knee there. Then bringing the hand and the knee down and coming over to the other side. Reach the left leg out, squeeze into the back of that hip there before you even start to lift it up. Then gently lift it up, press the heel away. Reach the right arm forward. Inhaling here, exhale, elbow to knee. Lift the spine up. There you are in your cat pose. Inhale, reach, and exhale, elbow to knee. One more time. Inhale, reach, exhale, elbow to knee, and placing it down. You're going to pivot onto the ball of your right foot there, reach your left leg away from you. You're looking for front heel to back arch alignment. Place the hand in line with the knee as well. And then reach the right arm up and overhead. So really press through that left foot there and reach the left fingertips forward. So just feeling that lovely side bend all the way through the left side of the body there. And then bring the hand down. I'm going to come straight over to the other side. Pivot the left foot around this time, reach the right leg away. Inhale, reach the arm up and overhead. Press and reach. Squeeze into the back of that hip there. Inhale to come up. Now you could have linked these two poses together, but just to kind of show you how it can work with linking the poses or having them individual, we're going to come back to the right side, pivot the foot around, reach the arm up, and then this time lift the leg up for the next pose. Breathe in. Exhale to come down. Now, of course, you're going to stay at the top of your mat. I'm just pivoting around so that I don't point back to you. Reaching the right arm up this time. Lift that right leg, reach the right arm overhead. Squeeze, lift. Draw the navel towards the spine. Cinch in around the waist, all the way 360. And then coming down. Our next pose is Savasana, so side plank. Coming into plank first. So it's nice to come into downward dog first, I find, to get plank, and then reach forward to plank. I just find I come into a much more stronger version of it if I take a quick downward dog first. Give it over to the side of your right foot now. Stack your left foot on top of it. Reach the left arm up. Press into that right hand now. Breathe in, draw navel towards spine again. Now we'll link these two poses together, it just makes a little bit more sense. So you can stay here, or come to the next pose, lift that left leg up. Feeling the little wobbles there as your foot and your hand are trying to find your stability. Draw your navel towards your spine, that will help you balance. And then exhale to bring it back down again. And pivoting, you're staying. Coming into downward dog first, press the heels down towards the ground. Lengthen through the spine, so lift the hips up, reach the arms forward. Let the head hang here a little bit. We're off to bring the head up in our downward dog. Okay, take your plank, find your strong spine, all the way from your tailbone to the tip of your crown. And then pivot over to the outside edge of your left foot, stack right foot on left foot, reach that right arm up now. Linking these two poses together, we're going to lift that right leg now. Press down through the left fingertips now. Reach through the right fingertips. Navel towards spine. Breathe for one more breath. Exhale, bringing it down. Into the top of your mat again. Now, so that's our warm-up done. If you have your sequence downloaded, that's the top line of the sequence there completed. We're going to come into some standing flows now, starting with a half sun salutation, so the half suri. Stand up to the top of your mat, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. So you see, through quite a few of my sequences, each standing flow can start with this half suri, and then it says plus. And this is just the half sun salutation. It just resets you before you start another mini flow. So inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down. Bending the knees if you need to. Inhale, coming up halfway. So find your strong back here. Look for that cow position again. You're drawing your shoulders towards your hips. And then exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. We're going to keep the arms up high now, and we're going to step that left foot back. We're coming into our first mini flow here. So in a high lunge, then inhale, straighten that front leg, and exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, bend for 2. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend for 3. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend 4. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend 5. Now exhale, 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 exhale. Bring the arms back behind you. Inhale, reach that left leg up. And exhale into our warrior three. Inhale here. And exhale, just step that left leg forward. And then we're going to come to the left side now. We're going to break it up with another half sun salutation. Optional here to not add in the half sun salutation if you're flowing through this yourself and you don't want to practice quite as long. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Keep the arms up now. We're going to step our right leg back into our high lunge. Straighten that front leg. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, press through that left foot. Exhale. 2, inhale, reach. And exhale, bend. 3, inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Bring in a little bit of movement. Exhale, bend. 4, inhale, reach. And exhale, bend. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Reach the arms back. Inhale to step that right leg up this time. And exhale into our warrior three. Flex that foot, press out through the heels. So you keep your hips squared here now. And then stepping that left foot forward. Come to the top of your mat, just take a few moments into Savasana, just noticing how your first standing flow sits with you. Press into your feet, reach through the tip of your crown, little external rotation of the arms, soften your shoulders down. So really trace through your spine and see can you find all those lovely curves, the natural curves of your back. Settling. Okay, then coming back to the top of your mat. Next standing flow, we're going to come into the second standing flow with lunges. And for this one, we're going to come into tree pose as we step forward. So as usual, in this flowing, we are going to start with a half sun salutation. We're going to do the half sun salutation in between our legs as well. As I said before, that one's optional. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway, find your back bend. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, stepping the left leg back. Inhale here. We're going to do actually just 3 of these, and we're going to really slow the breath. We're going to do a count of 4 in and a count of 6 out. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then inhale, stepping that left leg forward. Lift the knee up. On your exhale, you're going to just hold on to that foot, bring it into tree pose, taking your version of tree pose so that left foot can come in the inside of the calf or the top of the thigh of the right foot, but avoiding the knee joint. Option for the arms to be raised at your heart, placing one hand on the outside of that knee, reaching the other one up to the sides, just depending on what helps you to stay nice and upright through your spine here and open through the chest. Breathing. One more inhale here, squeeze the back of that left hip, and then exhale, just with control, letting it go. And back to prayer position at the top of your mat. Okay, we're going to take the half, to break our 2 poses up, so our 2 flows up, inhale, and exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up. This time we're stepping our left leg back to find ourselves in high lunge with the left leg forward. Right leg back with the left leg forward. Inhaling here, and then exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Step that right leg forward now. Lift the knee up. Use your core. And then placing the foot either down on the inside of the left calf now or the inside of the left thigh. Deciding your hand position, arms reaching, like prayer. Placing it on the inside of that leg there, the right leg, and even drawing that left hip away from you, just helping your hips to open there. Squeeze into the back of that right hip now. Breathe in for 3. Breathing for 2. Press into that standing leg. 1 more breath. And then exhale, just gently letting that right leg come down. So that gives you a feel of 2 different ways to flow. One just flowing with the breath, and the other one where you use the breath and you slow it down, which is a lot more challenging and a lot more stabilizing for the muscles around the joints that you're working through. Now we're going to come down to the ground just to take some shalabhasanas, 3 versions of shalabhasana. It says in your sequence there, shalabhasana by 3, and then we'll come into our third and final standing flow. So inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down all the way, stepping your feet back to plank. Find a strong plank here. Watch your transitions. Transitions are still an opportunity to really link in with yourself and find your strength. And then exhale, knees and chest and chin come down. Okay, 3 versions of shalabhasana. First one will come into the regular one, and I'll talk you through the other 2. So for shalabhasana, we'll reach the arms towards our feet, lift the hips, or lift the chest, the shoulders up. Again, those shoulders going down towards your hips there, and then lift the legs as well. And breathing for 3. So can you make sure that the toes are reaching towards the ceiling, so we're not externally rotating those thighs. Breathing for 3, breathing for 2, breathing for 1, and exhale, making a little pillow with your hands, and taking a breath here. Now for our second version, we're going to take it with the arms straight out either side, and the legs at least mat distance apart. We're just working on slightly different muscles through our shoulders and our hips here. So lifting up, like a skydiving pose. Breathing for 3. Pressing your pubic bone into the ground there as you lift. Breathing for 2. Lengthen through the whole spine. Breathing for 1. And then exhale to come down, taking 1 breath. Forehead on hands, just letting everything relax into the mat. And then last round. So this one I definitely find the more challenging one. We're going to bring the legs together. So press the insides of your legs together. We're going to bring our arms forward and press your hands together. If this doesn't suit you for your shoulders, just reach your arms forward. So inhale, lift, looking down towards your mat. Squeezing everything together. Make yourself as narrow as possible here. Breathing for 2. And 1 last breath. And exhale to come down. With hands in pillows, forehead to hands. And 1 breath here, letting everything just relax. Hands either side of your chest. Inhale to come up. We're going to tuck the toes under and lift up and back into downward dog. So pressing your feet down into, or your heels down into the ground, 1 at a time. Right knee bent, left heel reaching towards the ground. Feel that lovely stretch through the back of the leg. Left knee bent, right heel reaching down towards the ground. And then just stretching both heels down towards the ground so that they might not reach the ground, but we're still getting that lovely stretch through the backs of the legs and the whole spine, the whole back body as we reach the heels towards the ground. Letting the head relax. And then inhale, lift the right leg up, press out through the heel, and exhale, step it just to the inside of the right foot there. Ground that left foot down, and shimmy the right foot over a little bit towards the centre of the mat. Press right hand onto the right leg, circle the left arm up and around, and find your warrior two. Okay, so we are looking for front heel to back arch alignment, and we want this knee not to shoot any further than the ankle. So if you find your knee is too far forward, you just walk that right foot forward a little bit. Squeeze the back of that left hip there now to help open that left hip out to the side, and squeeze and tuck that right seat under. Press into the feet equally here. Even though it's an asymmetrical pose, can you find equal effort left and right here? I'm going to talk you through this flow, and then we're going to flow through it with the breath. So the next pose is reverse. So palm faces up towards the ceiling. Find that length and keep the length through your arms, rather than letting the arms go a bit baggy there. And inhale, reach that left hand down towards the left thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. Press strongly through that right foot now. Keep the hips dipped down here. Often they follow that, let that right arm and come up. So keep the hips dipped down here. Do that lovely stretch through the right side of the body. Breathing. And then inhaling and exhale. Right elbow to right knee, reaching the left arm up and over. Press into that left foot now. See, can you find the arches, the inner arches of that left foot? See, can you soften this shoulder back? So even drawing it forward, circle it up and then down your back, like you're really drawing that left shoulder blade down your back. Navel in towards spine here for that lovely stretch through the left side of the body. And then we're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana next. So if you have bricks, now's the time to grab them. We're coming through a flow, so if you have bricks, pop one either end of your mat. So from Savasana, we are going to place left hand on left wall there in front of me, on left hip. Really find your strength in your right leg before we even pour all the weight on it. So make sure you're happy with the position and the strength of that right leg. Send the signals down to that leg that it's going to take over now. And then gradually start to lift that left leg up, reach the right arm up. So you can use stack left hip over left or over right hip. If your balance is not with you, the best place for the gaze is down towards the ground. If you've got good balance or you're feeling you want to challenge your balance, start to bring your gaze up towards your left fingers. I'm going to keep my hands and my balance down towards the ground. And then we're going to come straight into goddess pose. A lovely transitional pose. I'm just shimmying it from side to side. That's a nice way to work out any sorts of overworking one side and just kind of transferring from side to side. And then another, it's a great way to get to the other side of your mat. So we're going to then continue on through our flow, coming into our warrior. On the left side now, you're facing towards the back of your mat. Left palm faces up towards the ceiling. Keep those lovely long arms, long limbs here. Keep the hips low as you reverse warrior. And then taking it into your side angle, your Parasvakonasana, reach that right arm up and over so my hand went slack. See, can you keep it straight? Really draw lines in the air with your fingertips. Press through that right foot now. See, can you lift the inner arch of that foot? Reach through the right fingertips. Soften that shoulder again. Let's reach it forward and back. And then we're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana on the left side now. So right hand to right hip. Start to send that signal to that left leg now, that you're the boss, you're taking over. Hand to brick, and start to lift that right leg up. Raise the right arm, gaze down towards the ground, or start to bring your gaze up towards the right fingertips. Press strongly out through that right heel now, like you're wearing a shoe. So that's the leg strength is the thing that will help keep that leg buoyant. Drawing your navel towards your spine now, keeping it all together with the core. Then gently coming down, watching your transitions, just as important in the poses. Coming back to your goddess pose, and then coming to the forward to the front of your mat. Okay, so we're going to flow through that with the breath. And we are going to come into it from standing at the top of our mat. Okay, we'll do a half, so inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, folding down again. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down, midline in prayer position. Hands to hips here. We're going to step that right leg back towards the back of our mat, ground the foot, and look for that front heel to back arch alignment. Coming into our warrior. So we're going to flow with the breath now. We're going to do one round of each. So inhaling here, and one more exhale, let those hips drop down. Inhale for our reverse. Long inhale. Exhale, long limbs. Side angle. Inhale, Ardha Chandrasana. One breath. Exhale, into goddess. Inhale just to flip the feet. Exhale, warrior. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, side angle. Reach the fingers. Inhale, Ardha Chandrasana. And exhale, get wobbly there into our goddess pose. We'll do one more round of that. We just see, we put the work into cultivating the flow. So let's do it a second time to get a little bit more fluidity with it. So we'll just come straight into it. Inhaling here and exhaling into our warrior. Inhaling, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Reach the fingertips. Inhale, Ardha Chandrasana. Press through that right leg now. Reach the left arm up. Inhale, goddess. Inhale to flip the feet. Exhale for warrior. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, side angle. Press through that right foot now. Inhale, one breath, Ardha Chandrasana. Reach, and then exhale, slowly coming back into our goddess. Let's take a few breaths here in goddess, just swinging the hips from side to side. It can be nice as well just to bring the hands to the insides of the thighs there to encourage that hip opening. And it helps you to stay upright through the spine as well. We're looking to lift those hip bones up. They want to tip forward. So we're looking for them to be directionally going back. And then inhale to come back up. You're breaking the head on the back of your mat. And then you're going to come up to the top of your mat there, and we're going to take it into Savasana. So that is the standing flow of your sequence. So we're going to come down towards the ground now. So Savasana is always a great way to elegantly get yourself down towards the ground. Or productively more than elegantly. I'm going to call it an elegant pose. Okay, so I'm going to face forward now so you can see what poses we're coming into. We're going to come straight into Baddha Konasana. So again, this flow is all the poses that nourish me. And they're my favourite poses at the moment. And definitely Baddha Konasana is one that makes me feel very grounded. It makes me more calm and more focused. So I'll have a more productive day if I've taken a little bit of time just to sit and find my grounding and my focus. Okay, now I'm going to flow through these seated flow, not necessarily with the breath, but really just taking one or two breaths in each pose. Sometimes for like a smaller flow, I am inclined to not do as much seated poses, but what can be nice is to do a few of them, but just to almost treat them like the same as the rest of your practice, which is the standing flow. Maybe taking one or two more breaths in them, because you are trying to settle the system there. Okay, so we're going to take it into twist to start with. So lengthen your left leg away there. Bring your right foot up and place it fist distance away from your left thigh there. Now use that leg there to grow your spine up nice and tall. And this is a great prop to help you find your nice strong spine. And when you found the length through the spine on your inhale, exhale, twisting to the right hand side. So you can just hug onto that knee. It's a great way just to remind you to stay up tall through the spine. So you're like sandwiching your knee between your arm and your spine there. Or you can bring your elbow to the outside of that right knee, but not if it compromises the length through your spine. You're better off just hugging and lengthening. And then we're going to come into a forward fold. So forward folds really challenge me. So I kind of try to just remind myself that it's about finding the sensation, not about what the shape looks like. Forward folds can be difficult for a lot of people. So it's about linking into the sensations of the hip. See, can you lengthen through the spine again here? And then exhale, fold forward any amount until you find sensation in the back of the hip there. Play around a little bit with whether it suits you to point that front leg, so point the left leg. Sometimes I find there must be a little bit of tightness on the back of my calf there, but if I point the foot, I find a little bit of a better tilt forward through my hips there. So just play around with pointing and flexing that front foot and seeing the sensations that you notice all the way up into the top of that hip there. Everything is linked. And then inhale to come up. We're going to just bend that left knee now. Step the right foot over the left knee, coming up into a twist again. So the same as our first pose, we use this leg to help us lengthen, and then exhale, twisting to the right again. So this time you might find now that the leg is crossed over that leg, you might have a little bit more space to take that left arm to the outside of that right leg. As long as you can continue to find that nice length. Using this right arm here on the ground again as your prop to lengthen through the spine. Now you can stay here, which is a lovely twist, or if you want to come a little bit further with the hip opening, just start to ease that left or that right foot to the outside of the left hip. It can be good to lift the hips up to place them back down again. So Gomukhasana pose here, so the knees are stacked, and then we're just going to keep the hands on the tops of the feet here now and lengthen through the spine. Breathing, strong outer hip opening. Okay, and then just gently unraveling the legs, taking your time. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, starting with our Baddha Konasana. So lengthen through the spine. And then reach that right leg away now. Bend the left leg up. A little bit of distance between the foot and the thigh. Inhale, lengthen, press that heel away from you. And then exhale, twist to your left now. Deciding if you want to bring the elbow to the outside or hugging on. I find that hugging works best for me. Again, this left arm here is great prop. The tighter you bring it into the back of your hip there, the better it is at helping you keep that spine nice and tall. And then coming into our forward bend on this side, so just let that left leg drop out to the side. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, gently folding over that right leg. See what it feels like to point the foot and flex the foot. Just about see that in shot there. And notice what that does. And even actually a little bit of movement within a forward fold can make it feel a little bit more easeful, for me anyway. Okay, inhale to come back up, and then we're going to bend that right knee now. Step the left foot to the outside of the right knee. Inhale and exhale, twisting to your left again. Bringing that elbow to the outside if you find you have the room, or just continuing to hug. And if this is too much on your hip, you just keep that foot to the other side, so the left side of the right foot. So bringing this over is a very strong stretch on that outer hip there. One nice juicy breath here. And then staying there, or a slightly more intense hip stretch. Wriggling that right foot to our left foot to the outside of the right hip there now. Lift the hips up and settle them back down again. And then just placing the hands on the soles of the feet there, lengthen up through the spine. And breathing. And then gently getting ready to unravel. So that's about, for me, with the length of time that I was standing in my standing flow, that kind of a seated sequence where I've joined some of the seated poses together, it feels like a nice balance for me in terms of standing and seated. And also standing is more active, seated, we're gently bringing ourselves down. So more static seated poses for longer periods of time can sometimes be a little bit too much too soon for me. Now we are ready to come down towards the ground. So just coming onto our backs now. I'm going to take it into a back bend. So lengthen your hands either side of your body here. Feet are hip distance apart. Walk your feet in towards the back of your hips there now. Press your feet strongly into the ground. So have a sense of your knees being in line with the hips there. So we don't want them falling out. We don't want them falling in. So space between the knees. Press your arms into the ground. And on your next inhale, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Coming into a gentle back bend here. We're not really doing a massive back bending class. So really we're just kind of using this as a calming counterpose to the activity of the class. Finding a nice stretch through the front body here. And making our way down towards Savasana. Also, it's a lovely little, a very gentle inversion, which is very calming. And very good for finding focus for the rest of the day. Very good for the circulation. That's many benefits. And then exhale to come down. So bring your feet mat distance apart now. Bring the knees in together. And then just windscreen wipe the legs from side to side. Massively bit of movement to the hips there. And this one can feel lovely, and you know, it's up to you how far down towards the ground you want to bring those knees. And then just getting ready for Shavasana. To be a nice short Shavasana, or I shouldn't say nice when it's short, an appropriately short Shavasana, because it's been a reasonably short practice. So lengthen the legs out, but always great to take your Shavasana. And I know they can be tricky. They do call it one of the hardest poses in yoga because we're so busy-minded, we just don't like the idea of assimilating all we've done. We just want to get up and start moving. So see, can you find just for 2 more minutes a nice Shavasana where you thank your body from allowing it to move, and in return you give it a little bit of nourishment and a little bit of peace and quiet. Because the rest of the day, or whatever time you are practicing, there'll be plenty of opportunity to move. Now I'm going to guide you back to seated and end the class, but if you would like to stay here for a longer Shavasana, by all means, just stay here and find your nice bit of peace and quiet. For those who are coming out, rolling over to your right hand side, using your left arm to help you come up to seated. And coming to a comfortable cross-legged position, hands in prayer position at your heart. Comes to your third eye, to your heart center. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. So that is the What Nourishes You flow, which you will find in the sequences part of my website. I will also link to it. Any questions, you can contact me on Ruth at yogaru.ie. Thank you.